It's not rhythmic. You scroll down to where it says select your Tradovate plan. I personally am using the 50k full accounts. I think these are good value for money. So we'll use this to run through the rules. First of all, starting at the evaluation stage, then go through to the funded stage and talk about how to get your payout. Then at the end of the video, we'll talk about how to set up the Tradovate and TradingView platform via Apex. Let's run this down from top to bottom. This is the evaluation stage. These are the accounts that I'm personally using, the 50k full accounts. First of all, you're allowed to use up to 10 mini contracts or up to 100 micro contracts. So you can scale that down to using micros, unlike a top step account, for example. The scaling between micros and minis is there. So 10 minis or 100 micros. You have a profit goal of 3,000 with a trailing threshold of 2,500. Your profit to drawdown here is 120%. You need to make 120% of your drawdown in order to pass. And that's as opposed to a top step where you're having to make 150% to pass. So you've got a decent amount to work with right off the bat as opposed to what your profit goal is. And if I'm being conservative, I like to risk on these accounts a maximum of 250 per day, and that means that if I'm risking 250 per day, I'd have to lose 10 days in a row to blow the eval. That's an example risk parameter you could use on the account. Now you have no daily loss limit, right? So you have access to your full drawdown from day one. There's no scaling plan. You can use up to your 10 contracts right off the get-go, and we'll cover this soon, but you can plug Tradovate into TradingView so you can trade directly out of TradingView. You can trade from your browser, from your mobile device, from a Mac or Windows. It provides the Tradovate license for you, so you don't need to have an existing Tradovate account. That's all provided for you, and again, I'll show you at the end of the video how to set that up. If you do have preference to NinjaTrader versus Tradovate, it includes that platform. I personally don't use NinjaTrader at the moment, and it also includes the real-time data as well, level 1 data real-time. Now, the price for this, thing about Apex, there's always a discount going on, right? So the price says $167 a month, but you can pick up a 50k account, you use my code or any affiliate's code to get 80% off. Is CAMCAP, CAMCAP, and if you apply that discount code to the 50k account, you can pick one of these up for only $33.40. It is one of the lowest costs to funding in the industry, $33.40 to pick up one of these. Now, the power of Apex, as we'll cover shortly, is in their scale, right? So yes, you can just trade one account, but again, the challenge and my goal this year with Apex is to get those 20 funded accounts. You can have a max of 20 active funded accounts at one time. They call them PAs here at Apex. 20 PAs at one time. You can either copy trade those together within Tradovate, or you can trade them individually, whatever suits you best. I'm personally going to copy trade mine. So I'm going for 20 and picking them up at $33.40 each. It's a relatively low cost for the return on investment once you get those payouts rolling. So that's the basics of the 50k eval. Let's now run through and have a deeper look at the rules to passing the eval. There's not a lot of rules, okay, for passing the eval. Let's break down the rules. The rules are very simple for the Apex 50k eval. So number one, hit your profit goal of $3,000. Number two, don't hit your trailing drawdown of $2,500. Now, the drawdown on Apex is calculated intraday. To a lot of people, that sounds scary. All that means is that the drawdown will follow you during open positions. It will follow your highest account balance. The way to beat this, and this is a CAMMY Capital tip, and you'll see me doing this on stream as well with the Apex evals. The way to beat this is to take profit, all right? When your trade hits your target, take your profit quickly, all right? Don't sit there and say, oh, maybe it'll go for more, maybe it will go for more. Take your profit when your target gets hit, right? Ensure you're taking profit as close to the highest point as possible of your trade. And number two, trail your stops. You'll see me doing this on stream. I'll even put a clip right here. See, as I'm in a trade, it's going in my favor. It went past my target, but I'm still trailing that stop loss down, trailing it down to capture as many ticks as possible from that move without letting it go against me too much. Take Profit Trade is a similar prop firm who has the same kind of trailing drawdown, and I got funded with them first go with the trailing drawdown, no problem. It's just about taking your profits. Get in the habit of taking profit, all right? So that's your second rule. Don't hit that trailing drawdown. Third rule, this one's got a little asterisk next to it, right? So the minimum amount of time you can technically pass an Apex eval is 7 days. They want you to be trading for 7 trading days. So you can hit your profit target on that first day. You know, you can hit $3,000, but then you'll just have to flip micros until that 7 days is up normally. But Apex is always running a one-day pass promo. So at the time of this video, up till May 20th, 2025, if you hit your profit target day one, you can pass day one, okay? So when you're an Apex trader, you'll be, emailed when they have these promos going, these one-day pass promos. So you can technically pass them one day. Otherwise, take your time with it, right? 7 trading days. You can hit your profit target whenever you like, but a lot of the time there is a one-day pass promo going, okay? Like there is right now. The next thing I want to draw attention to here is there's no consistency rule, right? So you're not capped at making only 50% of your profit target in the eval or anything. You can make as much as you like. Like I said, if you hit one trade that's $3,000 right off the bat and you pass first go on a one-day pass promo, you've passed. There's no consistency rule in the eval. So make as much as you like until you reach your profit target. There's no max amount of time you can take as long as you want to pass, but the quickest you can pass without a one-day pass promo is 7 days. And other than that, when they're normally running these one-day promos, it's 1 day. And lastly, you must close your positions. They will auto-liquidate your positions by 4:59, but it's just something to know anyway. Make sure you're flat by the end of the day. And that's it. That's all your rules for Apex evals. You're allowed to trade during the news. You're allowed to trade your full max amount of contracts, 10 contracts or 100 micro contracts. There's no scaling plan in the eval. Very simple rules to pass the eval. Again, the only thing that might be different for you if you're used to trading with Top Step, for example, is the trailing drawdown. Again, it's really not that hard to beat, guys. Take your profit when you see profit. Take those base hit trades, consistent trades, and you're not going to have a problem with it. And again, right off the bat, they're giving you an extra $500 worth of drawdown compared to the competition. It's not hard. And one more thing for the eval is if you do hit your trailing drawdown, your resets for all sized accounts are $100. If you need to use it, you're not capped at any amount of resets. You can reset as much as you want. It's going to cost you $100 to reset. For me personally, if I'm going to reset, I'd rather just get a new account with the 80% off code, because then you're only paying $33 for a new account versus paying that $100 to reset. That's my thoughts on that, at least for the 50K evaluation. Now, before we look at platform setup, now let's look at the funded stage. So once you pass the eval, what are the costs? What's your activation costs? And then what are the rules in the funded account? How do you get payouts? And how do you avoid payout denials? Everyone's like, Apex denies payouts. They don't if you follow the rules. So we'll break down and simplify these rules now and move on to what happens once you pass, once you hit that profit goal. Now you've made it through the eval. You are now a funded trader. Now, first of all, on a 50K Apex account, your standard activation fee using Tradovate is $160 to activate your 50K Apex evaluation. So if you've paid $33 for the eval, plus that activation fee, your total cost is just over $190, $193. Lower cost than, say, with Top Step for the same size account with less drawdown, you're paying $200. So that's your activation fee. Now, let's go through the rules. So if you follow these rules, you're going to be able to get your payouts. The reason people get denied with Apex is because they don't follow the rules. So let's run through the major rules on how to trade your funded Apex account, your Apex PA, and how to get your payout. So number one, there's no payout windows with Apex anymore. You can take a payout every 8 trading days. And at least 5 of those trading days have to have a minimum of $50 profit. Again, comparing this to a Top Step requires you to have 5 days of $200 profit to request a payout with Apex. As long as you've traded 8 days and 5 of those were above $50, the other 3 days could be negative if you want. But as long as you have 5 days that are over $50, you can qualify for a payout. In the funded stage, you have a 30% consistency rule, meaning that your best day can't be more than 30% of your total account balance. So again, a good way to follow this rule is just to take base hits every day and lock out base hits. Like I said, when you're trading with an Apex or a take profit trader, these kind of firms that have intraday drawdown, take your base hits and walk away. Don't try and squeeze for more and more and more. Take your base hits every day. Consistency is the aim of the game here with these types of firms to get payouts. Keep them consistent. 30%, your best day cannot be more than 30% of your total profit in the account. The next one here is in order to get your payout, you must reach the safety net of whatever your drawdown amount is plus $100. So with the 50K account, remember your max drawdown is $2,500, correct? That's the drawdown you start with on a 50K account. So in order to qualify for a payout, 2 good things happen once you reach the safety net. Once you've made $2,500 plus $100, so in this case, once you've made $2,600, that is your safety net reached. So once you reach that $2,600 profit balance in your 50K funded Apex account, two good things happen. Number one, from this point forward, you can begin to take payouts. Okay, so that's the first thing. Anything above that amount, you can request as a payout, or even if you wanted to eat into your safety net, they do allow you to take, at this point, take a $500 payout. And of course, if you're trading 20 funded accounts, that's $10,000 you can request off the bat once you reach that $2,600 safety net. Me personally, I would rather trade more and get a bigger payout than that. But if you are itching to get a payout, as soon as you've reached that safety net, which is your drawdown plus $100, you can take a $500 payout. So first of all, you qualify for payouts from that amount forward. And the second thing is that intraday trailing drawdown now stops. So once you've reached that $2,600 profit, there is no more trailing drawdown. It stops. So now you can build your own drawdown cushion. There's no more intraday trailing drawdown from this point forward. So that's a really good thing to note. You're not having to fight that all the way through your evals and funded accounts. It does stop once you've reached that safety net. For me, the aim of the game is taking those base hits until that safety net is reached, then start to look at taking slightly bigger, more positional plays, or letting those winners run a bit longer, because now we're not being trailed by that intraday trailing drawdown. So it's just a matter of taking base hits, being consistent until you hit that point, and then you can start to let those runners run if you so choose to do so. Now, the next thing to note is that in the funded account stage, of course, in the evaluation stage, you were able to use up to 10 contracts with the 50K Apex account. When you're in the funded account, until that safety net of 2,600 is reached, you're only allowed to use a max of 5 contracts, or half of your leverage. So 5 minis or 50 micro contracts. So until that safety net is reached, keep your risk at max half. In my opinion, you shouldn't be trading that much anyway. 5 mini contracts and a 50K funded eval, not a good idea, right? I like to use 1 to 2 contracts max starting off, so it's not a problem for me. But keep that in mind if you are someone who wants to use more leverage. Don't use more than 5 or 50 micros until you've reached that safety net. Next thing is you must not have more than a maximum of 5 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Now, that's not capping your upside, this is capping the downside. So say you have a trade position on, your take profit target is here, you've entered here, right? Your stop loss is not allowed to be more than 5 negative R. Okay, so you're allowed up to a negative 5 R stop loss from your trade position. I don't know why you would trade with a negative 5 R stop loss personally. At most, I'm using a negative 2 R. So for most of you, this shouldn't be a problem, but that's one thing to watch out for. If you want your payouts approved, make sure you follow that. Your stop loss should never be more than 5 of what you're looking to take profit at. Risk to reward ratio, max of 5 to 1. The next rule here is don't allow an open trade to go against you for more than 30% of your account balance. For example, let's say you have an account balance of $10,000. All right, you've been going really good. You got 10K in your account. At any one time, you cannot allow an open trade to go against you more than $3,000, because that is 30% of your account balance on a single trade. So again, this is an easy one to combat. Personally, with funded accounts, I risk no more than 10% on the day. So if you've got a good risk management plan, this is not going to be a problem for you. I'm risking 10% of my max drawdown per day, which means I'm not running into this issue. But keep that in mind, okay? If you want your payouts approved, don't allow this to happen. But keep that in mind, okay? If you want your payouts approved, don't allow this to happen, okay? Now, once you're eligible for payouts on the 50K accounts, until your 6th payout, you can request a max of $2,000 per payout request. And again, that's why I say if you're going to use Apex, don't just grab one account. Take advantage of the scale. This isn't a problem if you've scaled across multiple accounts. If you're following me in this 100K payout challenge, I'm going for 20 Apex accounts and taking a total of $5,000 out of all 20 copy traded, which means even with the payout cap, I'm only needing to get 2.5 payouts. $2,000 for the first payout times 20, $2,000 for the second payout times 20, and then $1,000 for the third payout times 20 to reach $100,000 profit. So in 3 payouts times 20 accounts, you can earn $100,000. But that is something to keep in mind. That's why I think personally Apex is best to use if you are only going to take advantage of the multiple accounts. It doesn't have to be 20 accounts, but grab 5, grab 10, make this worth it, because that's 2K per payout request per account. So if you have 5 accounts, you can take 2K per account. So even there, 2 times 5, $10,000. So on your first payout request, if you've got 5 accounts, you can take out 10,000. So that's per payout request per account, just to clarify. And here's for the other account sizes, right? So your first 5 payouts on each account size, we're using the 50Ks here, $2,000 each payout on the first 5 per account. And then after your 5th payout, your 6th payout onwards, you can take up to 100%. There's no cap on your payout amount. Now, lastly, to avoid getting denied payouts, don't try flipping positions. Keep your position sizing consistent. So Apex's FAQ has the best example here explaining what this means. The example they give is trading 10 contracts on one day and then 2 contracts the next solely to secure payouts. Basically, gaming the system and being inconsistent with your risk management is a no-no. You're probably going to get your payouts denied if you try doing that. So keep your position sizing consistent. However, they do allow occasional adjustments based on market conditions. And this is something that I personally do as well. When the Trump markets, the tariff markets were going wild, I reduced my position size. There's occasional adjustments based on market conditions, e.g. reducing contract size during increased volatility is permitted, providing it aligns with your overall trading plan. As your account balance grows, contract sizes can be increased to reflect a scaling strategy. But basically, they're just not wanting you to see go from 10 to 2 contracts, these erratic large changes from using a lot of contracts to using a little amount to using a little to using a lot. Keep it fairly consistent, adjust based on market conditions if you must, and scale up slowly as your account balance grows. You don't have to, but if you want to increase your position size, that is how you would do it. And that's it. So as long as you're following these, you should have no problem getting your payouts approved and really having the opportunity to scale up big time with Apex. And again, I'm going to be doing this live on stream Monday to Friday, 2:45 a.m. Eastern time. So you can watch the journey there. I'll be documenting it here on YouTube as well for you guys to watch once a week. Don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to be a cool challenge nonetheless. Going from 0 to 20 funded Apex accounts and then securing a total of 5K payouts per account for an $100,000 total profit from Apex to start off, and then we'll keep scaling from there. The power of Apex is the scale, the multiple account scale. So again, if you're just going to grab one account, it's okay. The rules are all right. It's decent. The best part about Apex, their strength is being able to scale up big time. But take advantage of that. I certainly am this year. Now, let's talk about how to set up your account. A lot of people are used to trading on Project X, Top Step X. So I'm going to quickly run through now how to set up an Apex account using Tradovate and plugging that directly into TradingView. Or if you're like me and you'd rather execute off Tradovate, I'll show you my Tradovate settings as well. So when you purchase your Apex 50K Tradovate accounts, what you want to do is click on the dashboard, sign into your Apex account, click dashboard. And then over here, you're going to have your username. This is for your Tradovate account. It's going to give you your credentials, your username and your password. What you're going to want to do, I'm not going to do it now, but you're going to want to click the show pass checkbox, so it'll show you your password. And from that point, you copy and paste your username and password into Tradovate. You can use Tradovate's web application going to tradovate.com, or you can download the desktop app, which is what I personally do. If you want to use TradingView itself to execute trades, before you do that, you have to sign into Tradovate for the user agreements. So take those details from Apex, the username, the password, and make sure that you click the checkbox, the show password option on the dashboard. If you don't do that, for some reason it doesn't copy and paste right. As you can see, incorrect username or password. When you're on the Apex dashboard, click show password, copy and paste it from there, log in, select simulation, and then your Tradovate will log in. Now you can see that the way I have it set up is I have my charts over here on TradingView, a separate application, but then my Tradovate, I have 2 Tradovate windows open here. I have my time and sales, my accounts tab, and also my depth of market, my DOM. So all you got to do to set that up is, if yours will look a little bit different when you first start, but all you got to do is click the 3-bar drop down menu, click plus, and you can add different things. If you want the charts, if you want the DOM, if you want your positions, your time and sales, trade performance, any of these things you can add in personally and personalize your Tradovate dashboard. Now, if you're logging in for the first time with Apex and Tradovate, it will just have some market agreements for you to sign, basically just confirming that you're not a professional trader and signing the Tradovate user agreements. You just click check, I agree, accept. So that'll happen on your first sign into Tradovate. Okay, now to trade with Apex directly inside TradingView, if that's what most of you prefer, I assume, you click this button up here on Tradovate, application settings. Go down to here where it says add-ons. Scroll down. And here we have the trading view. Enable trading view to access your Tradovate accounts. Free, you click activate. Right, now you've activated the trading view add-on for your Apex accounts. You can now go over to trading view, go to the trading view trading panel, select Tradovate, enter your same Apex username and Apex password you use to sign in to Tradovate itself, click connect, and boom, you now are signed in. It can trade directly off TradingView itself with your Apex accounts. Right, so I could buy, sell, whatever right here out of TradingView and select which Apex account to use here and trade them all directly out of TradingView. So I know a lot of you like to do that versus executing in Tradovate. My preference is to use Tradovate. I like to execute off the DOM and I like to use the time and sales, and I like seeing all my accounts here in action as I'm trading. So you can also, like I do, use both. I don't execute on TradingView, but I do my charting or my analysis on TradingView, and then I'll execute on this side on Tradovate. So that's how you set up the platform. If you want a full tutorial video on how to use Tradovate, I can drop that next week as well. But that's it, guys. I hope you found that helpful. If you want to try Apex,